Hello YouTubers, Troz here, back playing more Factorio All Item Train, and we're getting pretty close to the end here. And last time we finished up all the armor modules, so we just have this row and a few things we missed to finish up. So let's start this video off with setting up wrong blueprint. We're setting up currently the wall and gate production. So this is rather straightforward. We just build a bunch of walls, and then some of those walls are used to make gates. So let's hook up these lines here. It's a bunch of stone, and then the gates need some steel and green circuits. And if I did this all correctly, this just needs to come over here. This just needs to come here, and the rest of these are all stone. Yeah, so we basically have 3 wall makers. They each get their own dedicated blue line of stone. And then these steel and circuits come down for the gates. You know what, let's not do that. I forgot we're here on the south side of the bus, so it takes a while for the actual beacons and modules to be brought over. Come on, just a few more modules. Well, those aren't very important there, just efficiency will make them use less electricity, but it should not affect the speed. So we have the walls being made. The gate production here grabs those walls. And you're kind of just waiting on some circuits. I wonder if well, you're all done already, it looks like. Let's put that pole there and another one here. Yeah, well, we made quite a few of them a minute. You're just finishing up the walls now. Of course, we were making the walls faster. It's just they were being used up by the gates. But yeah, quite a bit quicker than the 1 a minute, 1 a second that we were going for. With this down here, there'll be a little bit more of a buffer of green circuits, so this would actually run even faster. Okay, so that's the first 2 here down. Next we have 4 different turret types. The first being the gun turret, and that reuses some of these beacons here. This leak went out all the way to here. I had to fill in a bunch of it. I didn't fill in all of it because I think we're going to be using some water from that lake in a bit. Okay, that seems to be good. This is pretty much straightforward. um, each of these gets their own dedicated iron plate, because they need 20 iron plates, and then we split the copper and gears across these two different belts, and they output onto this belt to go into this chest. Normally they take 8 seconds. I think we get these up to like plus 600%, which actually kind of should bring them to slightly quicker than 1 a second, but we have 2 just to be sure. Come on, you guys can do it. I wish they had a way to make, like a research or something to make these guys smarter, saying, hey, you have everything in your inventory, we'll just let your boss make 2 trips because that will be a lot quicker than coming from halfway across the map. But, you know. The game's still great. Alright, here we go. Let's look at our production. 32, 64, 96, 128, just about 128 a minute. And that's also correctly limited. Yeah, so it's doing a little over 2 a second. Yeah, these are at 8.75 crafting speed, so that 8 seconds really comes out to be like, you know, 0.96 seconds or whatever it actually happens to be. You can see how quickly that line fills, and with the amount of inserters we have here, they are able to keep up. Again, we have filter inserters, just because if we didn't, they'd both try to take the one and then the other, and because they're both grabbing from a single side of a belt, they'd actually be slower overall. And like this, it fixes it so each one is grabbing from their own lane, so they're not slowing the other one down. Alright, we'll let that run. It'll take probably a minute more. The next turret is the laser turrets. Let me move out of the way. This is basically this, but without the extra assembling machine at the end, making personal defense lasers. So we'll come up here and connect these. And wait for the resources for this to get built. Alright, so I did get all of these lined up well. This episode is actually going decently well, which means we'll probably get to something that I didn't think we'd get to, but we'll see how it all goes. Alright, we got the assembling machines in. We just need a few more modules. And these all need speed modules here in the middle. Waiting for that autosave. What are you? Oh. I know what you are. And guessing that's a small error with the blueprint. I missed that last line. I'll have to correct the blueprint at some point. At the end of this, I am going to attempt to publish the blueprints I used. So yeah, I've been fixing them up as I've been going along, finding issues, and that's definitely a small problem there. What is the hold up over here? Look, we have 500 of the... Alright, here we go. One more. Thank you. I don't recall how well this does, but... Well, seeing that we did the personal lasers at about 40 a minute, and they need 5 of these... I guess close to 200. There we got the batteries coming in. Alright, 15, 20. How are we doing on the productivity? Hey, look at that. About 200. Using a lot of steel. Actually, that is something. While setting up for this, some of these were still running. I think it actually was these discharge defenses. And where is your plastic? Yeah, the steel here actually was drained partially. You see here, we don't have very much steel. That actually goes all the way back. Well, it's doing better than it was, but yeah, the problem is that these share the same name, and so that if the trains come in one at a time, they typically will come to this one. So this first half will fill up much quicker. And yeah, the second half then has to wait. I won't say luckily, but eventually the train here can't fully unload, and so it will still be sitting here when the next train comes in, forcing it over to here. But you can see this side's already out of iron ore. And so yeah, that's doesn't help. So we have both trains here waiting for more steel. Now the real solution is get more trains, but I think I already have something like 12 This first train is actually just my build stuff train that for some reason I told it to stop here once, and I still have that in here. You can see this train pulled in. It's probably gonna fully unload. Yeah. Oh, we did get a second train though, so that's gonna help a bit. Yeah, you can see, hey, look, we're out of steel or iron, so a lot of the iron here isn't, or furnaces aren't smelting the iron. We do have the steel, most of the steel furnaces running, but it's still gonna take. Okay, this train is almost full, but it's still. I need more trains coming here. Alright, well, these are... Oh, they're done now. Next! Oh, this is going a lot quicker than I had thought it would. Well, next is the flamethrower turret. This is actually rather straightforward. Well, maybe not as straightforward as these. But it's just some engines and gears and pipe and steel. Lots of steel. But it doesn't actually need that many inputs. Basically just gears, steel, and plates. The plates are then turned into pipes. The pipes are combined with the steel and the gears to make engines, and then the engines with what is left over of the gears and steel go to make the flamethrower turrets that take 20 seconds, so we have 2 of them. It does take 5 engines. We have 6 engine producers, but with the productivity, we get some extra ones. Plus the engines take much less time. Half the time, so. Alright, looks like it's not exactly hooked up to power, but we can fix that. We now just waiting on some modules. Looks like all the ones I had got used up. Hopefully the modules are... Hey, here's some modules. You'll be here in a second. There's 3. No, you're bringing me... Bring modules for the... beacon. Why is it? Why can't I... Oh. That's weird. Did I not put number... That's weird. I don't really understand that, but they're almost all full now. In fact, they should be now. Okay. Let's hook this up. Alright, here we go. Where? 48. Alright, so these aren't, 56, aren't as quite as fast as most of the other things. At least like laser turrets. But, they're not doing bad. So we get maybe 50 a minute. And oh, okay, they do sack to 50. I thought they might not have, but so it's not quite up to everything else, but it's still pretty good for just 3 belts of items. May wind up putting in a second one of these at some point. But for now this is good. The next and final turret is the artillery turret, and this is pretty big, and I actually don't have all the necessary materials for this. Not yet, at least. These are the main materials, except for concrete. It needs 60 steel and 60 concrete. Where did all you guys go? Oh. Guess you guys were trying to place things as I walked away. No, do we not? Oh yeah, look at that. We barely don't have coverage on that edge. Alright, so we are going to produce our own concrete here. And, well, we're gonna have to swap some things up, because I had this a bit differently when I built it originally in the creative world I was in. I basically had 4 separate lines, but that, that was overkill in the amount of materials for producing the concrete. So I'm gonna switch this up here. So for the concrete, we're gonna need 2 lines of stone and, well, really 2 half lines of iron ore, but it just makes more sense for them to be full lines. So the stone needs to be the inner, because we need a lot more stone than the iron ore. So we have the long-handed inserters grabbing the iron ore, which is, they're a lot slower, so. Alright, hopefully I can get this done relatively quick. It's never really quick putting these in manually during the episode, so yeah. Been trying to put them in beforehand. Alright, that should be most of it. You know, let's put what did I call it last time? Not a balancer, but a shuffler. So we're just shuffling all the lanes to the top. Oh, how did I miss that? I put it behind. Okay, we're just about done here, I believe. Of course, I missed that and that. This has to come back over this way. And we should be straight the rest of the way. And luckily that has given us plenty, or given the bots plenty of time to get everything else in place. That was almost perfectly lined up. Okay, so we basically have concrete production down here, except that it needs water. So let's see if we can get water over here for it. We're going to need two offshore pumps. Oh, really? You're gonna... Alright, let's have you go down to, let's say, here. Alright, and this should hopefully be plenty of water. How much? 100 water. So a pipe can... One pipe will fill about 10 of them. Technically you get 1,200 per second. That decreases with distance, but this should be at least 8,000 at this point, at which point, yeah, we should be good. So we got concrete being made. That comes out to these two lines. So half the concrete goes to these three. The other half goes to these three. They take 40 seconds. We have 6 of them, with them all speed moduled up. We'll see how this goes. The rest of it is just gear wheels and advanced circuits and steel, obviously. Yeah, I did something different here. So I think it's the gear wheels and advanced circuits are just being run along, and I have these little splitters to get them in, and then we have 2 belts of steel, one feeding the first 3 and the other feeding the last 3. So let's hook this all up. We'll get the cement running first. Oh, and of course we need power. So you can see these are grabbing and providing both directions. Here comes the cement. Probably even don't, you know. I wouldn't say we'd be able to get away with one line of bricks, but probably closer than. So, production. Let's 64.72 a minute. That's right where we want it. It even hits 80 a few times. Oh, and you are not in logistics. Well, that's easy enough to fix. There we go, you're in logistics now. Well, yeah, that's going pretty good. Let's see if we hit the 1 minute. Okay, it's not been a full minute yet with our UPSs. Okay, and that is... Oh, so we're even gonna hit like 50, and it's gonna... Well, it should stop there, except they're still gonna go for a bit. Yeah, it's 65-ish a minute, 66. Not bad. So that's what I had planned, but we're just a little over halfway, so yeah, there is one more build I'd like to do. since we have the time. That will help things out. Got over 500 construction, getting close to 1,000 now. Oh, 700. Now we have 1,000. And here they come. I'll probably be removing this RoboPort. Well, it can sit there for a minute. So, we've done the walls, we've done the turrets, we already did the radar quite a few episodes ago, actually. That was one of the earlier episodes. The last thing on this line is it's the rocket silo. And I know I said in a past episode that the nuclear reactor was one of the hardest things to build quickly. Well, the rocket silo probably is the hardest, especially since you need 8,000 of 2 separate items, and then you need 200 electrical engines, which, yeah, they're not the easiest to produce either. So we'll wait for this autosave to finish, and I happen to have a blueprint, a gigantic blueprint. Yeah, we can leave that RoboPort there. I hope this fits here. Let's find out. Oh, no it doesn't. Not really. Let's see what we can do to not cause a huge problem here. You know, it just barely didn't fit. Alright, that's... Okay, that's not too bad. I'll stick you back up to 500, which I had earlier when I was filling in that lake. Oh, looks like we missed one inserter there. Do we have robots bringing me... if we do, I don't see them. I bet those are all robots coming to fill in that blueprint that I then just picked up. No, we do have some robots with... Here we go. No, I thought I saw her. Alright, so my thinking is straighten this shore, come down a little further with some land, so we do have some room. Okay, we are getting some extra landfill. Definitely gonna need it. Something like that, maybe a little lower. We'll see how things go. You want to cut all those trees? Go right ahead. Alright. Hopefully I'll be being brought... Here we go. Yeah, we got plenty of landfill. Of course, it's going to take the robots a while to get here. They keep stopping to recharge. It's hard. I wish there was a way to tell how many were just sitting there waiting. Now kind of broken into a few groups as they go to different roboports to charge. So this blueprint here, things jump around. The two large, long areas are engine production, electric engine production. And then the bottom is basically the same cement production I have for the nuclear reactors or the centrifuges. Yeah, so there's no way this does 1 a second. It might not even do... I think it does do 1 a minute, but getting 1,000 items in is not quick, especially when you have to do it for multiple types of items. Alright. You're gonna need a bit more. You know what, I'm gonna come down maybe one more row across. Also, I'm gonna walk closer to the production of the landfill, just so, well, this is kind of the dead end there. Don't want to walk into the green, because that will stop the logistics bots from coming to me. Alright, here we go. We're closer, but apparently not quite close enough for some of the bots. Hopefully this is the last I'll have to do. Go through landfill so quickly. Alright, about another stack to go. You guys should be the last few. Alright. I'm not sure if the walking really helped, but at least they didn't have to pause to recharge, you know, once or twice more on their way over. Alright, we should be able to do like one more width here. Okay, hopefully this will be a bit better. That, where am I? Okay, let's see how that is. That should be... Okay, yes. I wanted it off the concrete apron, and it is. This is going to be a bit awkward and probably wind up going a bit over time because we're trying to get this running. But I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that. We need 4 offshore pumps. Just to be sure. I'll take a bunch of these out. Hey robots, you're making it hard for me to see, and I think you just took my underground pipes. Please stop. Thank you for taking all my underground pipes. Let's just make some more. That won't take too long. Let's get some RoboPort coverage. Let's get some power. Oh, I mean, probably should have power. If you're all built. Hey, look at that. We got some underground pipes. Hey, stop! I need those. I need at least one. Ah, I used one before you took it from me. Oh, I need one more. Or two more underground pipes. There we go. Okay. So this pump feeds these 10. This pump feeds these 10. This pump feeds those 10. And this bottom pump feeds those 10. Oh wow, that's quite the sight to see. Now, hopefully all of these are labeled. Oh, that's the other thing we need. More pipes. Um, so we also need lubricant, because that's needed for the electric engines. And we don't have a good spot to get the lubricant from. So I'm going to wait till I get more pipe and basically borrow the lubricant from the pipe that goes to the train. I'll probably throw in a tank and then pumps going off to the train and one across all this way. How are we doing here? We're not even using all the construction robots, really? You know what? It really looks like we need a radar. We can put one here. What do we need? Blue circuits, steel, plate, gear, green circuit, steel. Like, I'm going to remember that. Do we have something? Well, you're smaller. Not exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, look at that. And we'll have to zigzag. We did have a 6 underground for whatever reason. You're going to be fun. Blue circuit, steel plate, green. We need one blue circuits. We're gonna move you a bit closer so we can steal a line of blue circuits. How are we gonna run the rest of these? Not sure this is going to work. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. Okay, there we go. Uh, uh. Steel on the outsides. We'll just do that. Alright, we'll get this one part hooked up and call it an episode. We'll still have plenty to do next episode. Back one, just because that will be a little cleaner, I think. We'll keep these together. We'll have you go like that. Because this is obviously going to take quite a while to belt up. And of course that didn't go right. I don't mind having the undergrounds and the splitters replace the belts, but I don't like it happening the other way. As you can see, I have accidentally dragged over the underground, and most of the times replacing the underground belt with a regular belt is going to cause problems, not fix things where there are definitely times when you want to replace the belt with an underground in order to fix things. Alright, so you're gonna come over to there, and you're gonna come over to there. Actually, let's keep you out here for a bit. Now I only have 3 lines to deal with. And those would be plates, gears, and green circuits. Yeah, you're gonna be problematic as well, aren't you? Where did the... Lucky there seems to be space over here. Actually, let's get that in. You're gonna be plates. Alright. Alrighty, just about have this done, which is not even half of the belts. So yeah, we'll be continuing this in the next episode. Just want to get this hooked up for you to see. Just how I try to do it. I mean, we got lots and lots of belts at this point. Just try to find open spaces to run them, like we have here. Alright, like 2 more belts down. What is even on this? Oh, yeah, that was the spare plastic. Not that we ever needed that much. you don't quite fit. Actually, that'll fit. We'll just do that. Alright, let's put the belt in, and maybe we'll only be, 9 minutes over time or so. Well, that's a problem. I put that offset wrong. Come on. There we go. Alright, we have blue circuits, iron, plates, gears, green circuits, and steel. Did I say iron before? It's steel here as well. And that's like basically not maybe a quarter of what we need to hook up. But I'm gonna call this episode here. We still need to hook up the lubricant. We still need to hook up the rest of these. And we still need a few other things, namely science pack production, space science production, and used up uranium fuel cell production. So there's still quite a bit to do. Maybe we'll get everything in the next episode? Who knows? I'll just say thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with more Factorio. I'll see you then.